question of why we went faster is a little bit different. In the first Superstock race on the Tuesday, I think it was, maybe the Monday, I think it was the Tuesday, we won the race, which was great. I think we won by 30 or 40 seconds or something. It was quite a big gap, even though I'd rolled a little bit. We won the race by quite a big margin. On the last lap, I was actually I wasn't taking the piss, but I was waving at people that were waving at me. So a lot of the time at the Isle of Man TT, and I'm sure many of you have been, and if you haven't, please go, because it's something that you will not regret. But on the last lap in particular, especially when you're winning, people are waving programs at you, they're clapping, they're waving at you, and I felt like I needed to give people something back. So I was kind of waving at people, I was doing some wheelies, which is not normally what you do before you finish, in case you don't finish, because then you look like an idiot. But yeah, I was doing some of the wheelies, I was kind of looking at a few people, waving and all that. And when I finished the race, we did 134 or something on the last lap. I basically nearly broke the lap record while waving and doing wheelies. So the team were kind of like, oh, you could have had a lap record, you could have done this. And I was like, well, as what I've just explained, I don't really care about a lap record. Lap record's really nice to have. However, somebody will always break it eventually. Like, the lap record will never stay. It will always get broken eventually. What they can't take from you is a race win. So I was a bit like, well, I don't really care. And the team were like, well, we care. So on top of that, a lot of people have been talking, particularly about one of my rivals who had done a much faster lap that week, in practice at least. You know, Michael Dunlop had done 135.5 in practice, which was officially the fastest lap ever around the Isle of Man TT. So a lot of people were giving it all this, particularly his fans, were giving it all that, about him being faster than me and all the rest of it. So when we got to the second Superstock race, I was always very comfortable on the Superstock bike anyway. And the last lap just so happened to be a lap that I only passed one person, which was my good mate John McGuinness at the start of the lap. The rest of the lap was completely clear. I wasn't necessarily going for a lap record, however, I did have a little devil in my brain saying, how fast can we go then? So we had a little bit of a push, we had a little bit of a go. I had a massive smile on my face the entire way around the lap. I was not overstepping my limit, but I was riding pretty damn hard and how I want to and how I know I can ride. And we ended up with 136.3. Good luck.
Il martedì lui ha vinto la gara stop e l'ha vinta con un margine. What was the margin on Tuesday? The stop win.
It was about 40 seconds.
40 secondi di margine nella gara del martedì stock vinta da lui. L'ha vinta tranquillamente. Lui all'ultimo giro avrebbe potuto tranquillamente, molto probabilmente, fare il record, perché ha girato in 134 nelle ultime parti del giro, facendo un po' di impennate, salutando la gente. Lui ha detto: tanti di voi ci saranno stati al Tourist Trophy, sapete bene che, e poi ha aggiunto, se qualcuno non c'è stato andateci, che è bellissimo. Sapete che alla fine delle gare la gente ama agitare i programmi, salutare, incitare i piloti, e lui si sentiva di dover dare qualcosa indietro agli spettatori, a tutti questi spettatori che in alcuni casi fanno dei sacrifici per arrivare al Tourist Trophy. E il suo team si è un po' arrabbiato con lui, perché gli ha detto: tu avresti potuto fare il record, perché hai fatto le impennate, salutavi, ti sei rilassato? Ho detto: ma chi se ne frega, tanto i record sono lì per essere battuti, dovessi farlo, arriverà qualcuno, lo batterà. Quello che non mi possono togliere è la vittoria di oggi, perché rimarrà. La seconda gara stock è stata una storia un po' diversa, perché nelle prove si continuava, anche durante poi le gare, si continuava a parlare di Michael Dunlop, che aveva fatto 135, un record non ufficiale, però effettivamente l'aveva fatto al Tourist Trophy. E quindi molte persone dicevano: beh, vedi, però Michael è più veloce di te sul giro secco. E lui dice, molte persone erano fan di Michael. E nella seconda gara stock aveva un diavoletto dietro che gli diceva: vediamo quanto si può spingere qua. Ha avuto la fortuna di trovare solamente un doppiato, una persona che ha superato, literalmente non doppiato, McGuinness, che era il suo caro amico John McGuinness. L'ha trovato sulla strada, l'ha passato e poi basta, nient'altro. Perciò, tenendosi sempre un margine ma spingendo forte ha detto io voglio vedere dove arrivo e ha fatto il record con la stock e quindi si è tolto anche una bella was a good satisfaction.
And in my opinion, grazie, but in my opinion, the Superstock race determined how fast the senior race was. So because we went so fast on a Superstock bike, in my opinion, they might disagree, but my competitors, we would say their head rolled off. They kind of could not believe the speed that we had done on a Superstock bike, and they know, like I do, the Superbike is faster than a Superstock bike. So if I could do that on a Superstock bike, how fast could I go on a Superbike? And for me, this is what changed the senior race on the Saturday, because in theory, the senior race should have been faster, and it wasn't. And I wouldn't say they necessarily gave up, but I think the dynamic changed from the Friday to the Saturday because they knew how fast I could go if I really wanted.
And still there was unknown quantity.
Correct.
Your speed, yeah. Ha un po' tagliato le gambe degli avversari questa gara, la seconda gara stock dove lui ha fatto registrare il record sul giro. Ha lavorato un po' anche a livello mentale con gli avversari, perché lui dice far registrare un giro record con la moto stock, ho mandato un messaggio agli altri e probabilmente hanno iniziato la gara del sabato della Superbike un po' demoralizzati, perché per loro vedere un giro record su una stock hanno pensato quanto può andare forte lui con una Superbike, quindi forse sono partiti un po' prevenuti e già demoralizzati. Poi in realtà la gara della senior non è stata più veloce della stock. Lui sostiene che effettivamente sono partiti un po' tutti già un po' con lo sconforto.
Ora vorrei invece parlare di un'altra gara, la Northwest 200 dell'anno scorso, in particolare se gli andrà di quello che lui ha soprannominato il Wheelgate. Allora, che cosa è successo? Northwest 2023, il team FHO Racing schiera le sue BMW, le super stock, che passano ovviamente le verifiche tecniche, si qualificano, ma prima della gara lui e il suo compagno Joshua Brooks vengono fermati. Il team è squalificato perché le moto non rispettano il regolamento tecnico e qui c'è un cavillo. Sostanzialmente che cosa dice il regolamento della Northwest? Che le moto super stock devono montare in questo caso cerchi di serie, sono vietati cerchi in carbonio, ma la M1000RR ha di serie i cerchi in carbonio. Quindi qui si è creato un piccolo impasse e a questo punto il team però è stato squalificato. Peter, se magari ho spiegato male o ho fatto qualche errore, correggi tu. In particolare pensi sia stata una soffiata di qualcuno?
So again, it could be a long story, but I'll try and make it short. The BMW M1000RR only comes with carbon wheels as standard. That's how they come. Actually, as of last year, as a lot of people on Facebook and social media pointed out, you could order the bike with a forged aluminium wheel. However, they were not available. In fact, they're only just available now, a year later. So that bike could only come with carbon wheels. Now the rule says standard wheels must be used, and then under that it says no carbon wheels. So that's about as Irish as you could probably get. Yeah, you have to use standard wheels and you're not allowed to use carbon wheels, but the BMW only comes with carbon wheels. That's what it comes with, an M1000RR. The point for us that a lot of people didn't understand or didn't know is in 2019 we ran with carbon wheels and the organisers knew about it and allowed us. In 2022 we ran with carbon wheels, the organisers knew about it and they allowed us. And in 2023 we did the 2 qualifying sessions with carbon wheels, the organisers knew about it and they allowed us, and then they threw us off the race grid. That was the point that we, or FHO Racing, said, hang on a minute, that's not right. And that's where the whole confusion and problem came with. Because the Superbike, you're not allowed to use carbon wheels, and we know that, and the Superbike did